My name is Dr. Sandra Thompson. I am a professor here at the University of Central Oklahoma. I teach in the School of Music, mainly freshmen. I teach theory and oral skills, and I also teach vocal sight singing. Well, I try very hard to incorporate something of MBE in every lesson. I think I probably don't do it consistently. I know that I get caught up in making sure that my content is taught and discussed and gone over and over and over. But I often use the communication, making sure that they just talk to each other about what they may be confused on. And so when I was able to have them like walk and talk, just walk 10 minutes, walk 5 minutes out, walk 5 minutes back, and discuss something that you don't understand and see if you can figure it out between each other. Then it was like a dialogue kind of to them, and they were able to put it together. And so the first time I ever did that, one student came in and said, "Can we do this every week? Because the things that you tell us, we kind of get, but sometimes someone can say it a little differently that will help us understand it a little bit better." So I do talk a lot about sleep and how important it is. It's very easy for the students that I teach to try to get by on very, very little sleep because they go to classes all day and then they rehearse most of the evening and then they save their homework to do after that. And I try and communicate with them how important sleep is so that they can remember what they've learned, so that they can distinguish those things that are important from those things that may not be quite as important. If you don't sleep after you ingest all of this information, there's no way to store it because you won't let your mind slow down. You don't sleep, you don't rest, you don't give it a chance to get inside you. It's like you are cramming all the time because you're learning all of this stuff, but then you don't give it a time to settle. If you're cooking a stew and you just cook it and then you immediately eat it, the seasoning hasn't had a chance to develop. And so if you don't sleep, the seasoning hadn't had a chance to develop. The things that you learn haven't had a chance to settle down, to interact with the other seasonings, the other things that you've learned, so that it all comes together during that time. And that's those light bulb moments. You wake up and you go, oh, I'm old school. I'm really old school. And so I was intrigued by MBE just because it seemed to be an opportunity to help all learners, those that are more advanced, those who are not quite as advanced, because it's just a concept. Just try this, just try talking about this subject that you don't know that much about with someone else and see what you two can come together with. Just try keeping this sleep log and look at how much you do or you don't sleep, and then try the next week to sleep a little bit more and see how much you can let it sink into those other areas of the brain that will allow you to recall it quicker. I would encourage old people like me to try it because it opens the opportunity for you to go, oh, well, I never thought about it that way. Just because it's worked this way for the last 20 years, I think we have opportunities always to improve on what has worked or change it just a little bit or rearrange it. And when we do that, we allow every kind of learner that comes into our classroom the opportunity to understand it just as well. But I think if the faculty will understand that the way I learned it in 1960 is the way that I'm going to teach it to you is not the best plan. So opening that new door or just opening that door for some fresh air often helps.